What if stopping sugar for just 14 days could completely change the way your body stores fat forever? Because what scientists found happening inside your fat cells after you cut sugar is something most people will never hear from their doctor. And once you see it, you will never look at sugar the same way again. Most people think fat is the enemy. They cut out oils, avoid butter, and stop eating anything that looks greasy. But here is the truth that almost no one talks about. Fat is not what is making you fat. Sugar is. And not just any sugar. The kind that is hiding in your breakfast cereal, your flavored yogurt, your so-called healthy granola bar, and even the fruit juice you drink every single morning thinking it is doing your body good. Sugar is everywhere, and your body has been reacting to it every single day in ways that most people never see coming. When you eat sugar, your body does not just use it for energy and move on. Something far more complicated happens inside your bloodstream. The moment sugar enters your system, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin is like a key that unlocks your cells so they can absorb glucose, which is what sugar breaks down into. Under normal circumstances, this system works beautifully. Your cells absorb what they need, your blood sugar drops back to a healthy level, and life goes on. But here's where the story gets dangerous. When you eat sugar constantly, which most people in modern society do, your insulin levels stay elevated for hours at a time. An elevated insulin sends one very clear message to your body. Do not burn fat. Store it. This is not an opinion. This is basic human biology that has been studied and confirmed by researchers at institutions, including Harvard University and the National Institutes of Health. When insulin is high, your body is physically blocked from accessing its fat stores. It does not matter how little you eat. It does not matter how much you exercise. As long as insulin is elevated, the door to your fat cells remains locked, and your belly fat stays exactly where it is. Now think about what happens when you actually stop eating sugar. Not reduce it, not cut back a little. Actually stop. Within the first 24 hours, something remarkable begins. Your insulin levels start to fall. For the first time in possibly years, your body begins to feel what it is like to operate without a constant flood of glucose coming in. Your cells, which have been relying on sugar for quick energy, start to panic slightly. They look around for an alternative fuel source. And that is when your body turns its eyes towards something it has been ignoring for a very long time: your stored body fat. Fat cells are not just passive blobs sitting under your skin doing nothing. They are dynamic storage units filled with a substance called triglycerides. When insulin levels drop far enough, an enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase gets activated. This enzyme acts like a chemical lockpick, breaking open those triglyceride molecules and releasing the fatty acids inside them into your bloodstream. Those fatty acids then travel to your muscles, your heart, and your liver, where they get burned as fuel. This process is called lipolysis, and it is the foundation of all real fat loss. Not calorie counting, not endless cardio. Lipolysis. And it only happens when insulin is low. And insulin only stays low when you stop feeding your body sugar. By day 3 of cutting out sugar, most people begin to notice something unexpected. They feel slightly tired, slightly irritable, maybe even a little foggy in the head. This is not their imagination. This is their brain adjusting to a new fuel source. The brain has been running almost entirely on glucose for years, and suddenly that supply is being cut off. The brain starts using something called ketone bodies instead, which are produced by the liver from those same fatty acids being released from fat cells. The transition is uncomfortable for a few days. But after that discomfort passes, something incredible happens. Mental clarity improves. Energy becomes more stable. The afternoon crash that most people accept as a normal part of their day begins to disappear entirely. By the end of the first week, the changes inside your body are becoming measurable. Your liver, which had been working overtime to process excess sugar and convert it into fat through a process called de novo lipogenesis, begins to slow down that process significantly. Fat that was being created inside your liver and shipped out to your belly and your organs starts to decrease. Visceral fat, The deep internal fat that wraps around your organs and is considered the most dangerous type begins to respond first. Visceral fat is metabolically active, meaning it releases inflammatory chemicals into your bloodstream constantly. As it starts to shrink, those inflammatory markers begin to drop as well. Your blood pressure may start to improve. Your resting heart rate may begin to normalize. Your body is quietly starting to heal itself from the inside. By day 14, the transformation that scientists have documented in clinical studies is nothing short of extraordinary. Participants in multiple research trials who eliminated added sugar for 2 weeks showed measurable reductions in liver fat, reductions in triglycerides in the bloodstream, improvements in insulin sensitivity, and a meaningful decrease in overall body fat percentage. These are not small numbers. These are significant biological changes happening in just 14 days. And all of them trace back to one single decision: removing sugar from the diet. But here is something that surprises most people when they learn it. Not all sugar behaves the same way inside your body. Table sugar, which is made of equal parts glucose and fructose, is processed very differently depending on which molecule we're talking about. Glucose gets distributed throughout your entire body and used by every cell. But fructose, the other half of table sugar, can only be processed by your liver. When your liver receives more fructose than it can immediately use, it has no choice but to convert the excess directly into fat. This is called hepatic de novo lipogenesis, and it is one of the primary reasons why people who drink a lot of fruit juice or consume a lot of high fructose corn syrup accumulate belly fat so quickly even when they feel like they are not eating that much. The fructose goes straight to the liver, straight to fat, and straight to your belly. High fructose corn syrup, which is found in an alarming number of processed foods and beverages, is particularly dangerous because of how concentrated the fructose content is. Regular table sugar is roughly 50% fructose and 50% glucose. High fructose corn syrup can be anywhere from 55 to 90% fructose. This means that every time you drink a regular soda or eat a processed snack containing high fructose corn syrup, you are sending a concentrated fructose bomb directly to your liver. Your liver converts it to fat. That fat gets packaged and sent out into your bloodstream as triglycerides. Those triglycerides get deposited around your organs and under your skin, and your belly grows a little bigger each time. When you stop eating sugar, this entire chain of events comes to a halt. Your liver gets a chance to rest. The excess triglycerides in your bloodstream begin to clear. The fat that was being deposited around your organs begins to mobilize and get burned for energy, and your body starts to look and feel fundamentally different. Not because of some magic supplement or some extreme workout program, but simply because you removed the single ingredient that was sabotaging everything else you were doing. There's one more thing that happens when you cut sugar that almost nobody talks about, and it may be the most powerful change of all. Sugar is addictive. Not metaphorically, not loosely, biologically, measurably addictive in a way that mirrors how certain substances affect the brain. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that is released during other pleasurable activities. Over time, your brain starts to require more sugar to produce the same dopamine response, which is the classic definition of tolerance. You crave more, you eat more, you store more fat, and the cycle continues until something breaks it. When you stop eating sugar, the first few days are the hardest because your brain is genuinely going through a withdrawal process. But once you push through that window, your brain chemistry begins to reset. Your cravings diminish. Your relationship with food starts to normalize. And for the first time in a long time, you are in control, not the sugar. You started this video probably thinking that fat loss was about working out harder or eating less. But now you know the real story. It was never about calories alone. It was about insulin. It was about fructose. It was about the silent damage that sugar was doing inside your body every single day without you even realizing it. Cutting sugar does not just change your weight. It changes your biology, your energy, your clarity, and your future health in ways that go far deeper than what you see in the mirror. The science is clear. The choice is yours. If this video changed the way you think about sugar and belly fat, hit that like button right now and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe so you never miss a video like this one, because every week we break down the real science of fat loss in a way that actually makes sense. And drop a comment below telling us how many days you think you could go without sugar. We read every single comment and we want to hear from you. See you in the next one.